Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be my March reading wrap up. I'm filming this, filming. I'm filming this March 25th. So the book I'm currently in the middle of, I'll definitely finish by the end of March, but I might start another one, but that'll probably be in the April reading wrap up. I'll just push it. Anyways, so yeah, I thought I read like 8 books. I read like 6. I don't know why I thought I read more. Slower month for me, I guess. I mean, usually 8 to 9 is my usual, but February was 6. Now this is 6, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I read books. Who cares? So yeah, we're just gonna go over what I read, my ratings, how I felt about them. I will say it was a very good month with high ratings, so let's get into it. Okay. I think the truck outside my door, I'm right by like my balcony in the parking lot, so I think it's done making noise. Had to wait a little bit. Anyways, let's get started. The first book I read, which was a 5-star read, 4.5, 5. It gave me a 5-star feeling. That is City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. Big boy. This is the first book in the House of Devil series. This was like no, it's not 900. This was like 700 pages. The second book is 900, which I want to read in April. But absolutely love this book. This is like a dark urban fantasy, and we're following our main character Loren, and she is a human in this world filled with like all different sorts of creatures. You have vampires and werewolves and fae and banshees and weird things, just all these sort of creatures. And then there's like demons too, and dark slayers, which are like magical bounty hunters is the best way to describe them. And that is our main male character, Darian Castle. Please don't get me started on Darian. He is like in my top 5 book boyfriends now. I am absolutely obsessed with him. Oh. Okay. Just have to compose myself there. Yeah, Darian, I'm obsessed with him. And I was just obsessed with this story. We're basically following, as I said, Loren, human, but then someone is coming after her. She's got a huge bounty on her head. Her best friend was kidnapped basically in her place. Like they were going for Loren but couldn't reach her, so they took her best friend. And now everyone's kind of like, why on earth would someone want a human? What is Loren's purpose? Who really is she? Where's her best friend? And then we have Darian, our dark slayer, come in. He's been paid to hunt Loren, but then he meets her and he's like, why the hell am I going for a human? They're worth nothing. There's got to be something about her. So then they kind of have like a plan that he's going to protect her, and they're going to kind of figure out what's going on. What's so special about Loren? She's just an ordinary human. And that's basically the start of the story. It was so fun. I just love a good like mystery within a fantasy, and just like, excuse me. I'm sorry about the truck. I shouldn't be yelling at them. So sorry. But yeah, I mean, I can't even put into words. I just absolutely love this book so much. I love the mystery of it. I loved our main characters. I love Loren. As I said, I love Darian so much. And meeting the rest of the Dark Slayer family and all the sort of creatures in this world and the fantasy aspect of it, it was just like, I couldn't put it down. Like I wanted to know what was going to happen next. I wanted to see more of Darian and Loren. Absolutely loved it. And I literally said in my last video, I'm a person that can't start a series and read books in between it. Like I have to finish the series back to back. But since this was such a big book and the second one's even bigger, I decided, okay, I'll put this one down once I finish it and pick up the second later, because also, not that the ending of this book was like finished. Like, I can tell the second book is gonna have a different plot line, but there wasn't a huge plot twist or well, there was a plot twist, but there wasn't a cliffhanger at the end of this book to where I was like, I need to pick up the second book immediately. So it kind of left off on a good note, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that. So yeah, I just decided to read the first, and I will pick up the second soon, because I need to. I need to get back to Darien and this world. I absolutely adored it. Like I said, 5 stars. I mean, I flew through this, and it's a chunky book. It is a chunky book. I read this on my Kindle though, but of course I had to get the physical copy. Yes, this is a indie series as well, indie author. So I highly recommend this. Is like a God tier. I guess I've only read the first, so maybe not a God tier series yet, but I have a feeling it will be. The 4th book comes out this year. It's not finished. But yeah, as you can tell, I could talk about this over and over again. But I guess my last point is, a lot of people have compared this to Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. And honestly, I did not even think about that. Like, some people read this and were like, it's too similar to Crescent City, I'm not feeling it. I didn't even think about that until I saw a TikTok, and I was like, oh my God, it is kind of like Crescent City. But I kind of love those vibes. Like I said, I love the mystery of the story, just like the first book of Crescent City. So I had no problem with that. And it's not identical to Crescent City. I guess kind of the world too, because it is a more modernized world with all these creatures in it. Like, there's like guns and stuff, you know, and not like old school fantasy, like daggers and swords. But yeah, I absolutely love that, and I can't wait to continue the series. Okay, I talked about that one book for a few minutes, but I loved it, okay? Next, I picked up a book that was on my TBR from my TBR jar video I did, and that was One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I gave this 4 stars. I need to take a breath. I really rambled about City of Gods and Monsters there. Yes, One Dark Window, 4 stars. I really did enjoy this. I wouldn't say it's God tier for me like it is for some people, but I really enjoyed it. Still, 4 stars. That's a great rating for me. We're following Elsbeth, our main character, and we're in a world where magic comes from tarot cards. So if you own that tarot card, you like own that magic, whether it's strength or speed, or you can see the future. But like with any magic, there's a consequence. So there's also consequence to those tarot cards if you use them for too long. And that's the world we're set in. And she has a monster in her mind called the Nightmare that like speaks to her. Yes. Really fun, fast-paced, really loved the world. Definitely a darker world. Not like dark elements, like trigger warning elements, but just like a darker sort of world that they're in. I loved our MMC Raven as well. There is a subplot of romance, but absolutely adored it. And yeah, it just was a really, really good book. I loved learning about the different tarot card magic. I loved Elsbeth and the mystery of the nightmare in her head and why he's there, stuff like that. So why am I filming this right now? I can't wait, okay? I'm already in the middle of this video. Anyways, yes, 4 stars to One Dark Window, really enjoyed. So then I picked up the second book, Two Twisted Crowns. This is duology, so only 2 books. And I also gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. The plot line, not very different, but you know, plot twist at the end of the first book. And so we're kind of going in a different direction in the second book. I don't really want to spoil anything, obviously. I don't know which one I liked more. I really liked them both equally. We got more POVs of different characters in this book, and the romance in that I loved them. I just loved them. And figuring out more about the tarot magic and more about the nightmare and stuff like that. So honestly, just a 4-star duology. It was really good. I loved it. I loved it. It wasn't, like I said, 5-star, amazing, God tier duology, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I read it. Okay, next. This is going to be like a 5-star, probably God tier series for me. I just already know. I picked up another book that was on my TBR video for March. Guild by Raven Kennedy, the first book in the Plated Prisoner series. There are 6 books in this series. It is finished. And I was like, you know what? This is shorter. I'm kind of in the mood for this, so I'm going to pick it up. And I fell in love. I fell in love. Honestly, the first book is like a 4.25 stars. This is a King Midas retelling, and we're following Oren. How do you say Oren? That I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Oren. We're following her, who's our main character, and she has been gold touched from King Midas. So she is like all gold, and she's basically his pet, but she's like in love with him, you know, because she's been saved by him, and, you know, kind of Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. She is one of my favorite FMCs of all time now. Here is something I love, is strong female characters, and not just like Aelin, assassin, strong, which love those characters, obviously, but like internally strong. That'll get me every time, because that is just more like Aelin is who I want to be. Oren, who has a lot of trauma and PTSD and anxiety. That is me. That is me. But her inner strength that she shows throughout the series, I just love her. I love her so much. And I love the MMC, Commander Rip, in this series. Slade. He is one of my top boyfriends as well now, top 5 to 10 for sure. Yeah, so I'm falling in love with this series. It's fast-paced, I guess medium paced, but fast-paced to me, like, her writing, I don't know how to even describe it. The words she uses, like, I just love the way she writes and the storytelling in this series. And there's not even, like, too much action going on, but it feels like it. Like, I guess her writing is just so, I guess, anxiety provoking in a sense. Like, it feels like there's a lot going on, which there is later on, but I don't even know how to describe it. Okay. I guess you might understand if you've read it and love this series, what I'm saying, but I loved the first book. 4.25 stars. Very dark. The first book. Check your trigger warnings. Pretty dark. This is, and I've heard this before, the first is really the only dark one, and then the rest of the series isn't that dark, and it's true. I'm on the third. Second and third weren't that dark. The first is pretty dark in certain aspects, so I would check your trigger warnings. You should do that for any book or series. Please do. For this one. Yeah, but still absolutely loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. So then, of course, I had to continue. I read the second book, Glint, which also, can we talk about, I love these covers. I just love these covers. This is like a 4.5 stars. I loved this. I want to say 5 because, like, this is like a 5-star feeling for me. 4.5 to 5 stars for these books. I know by the end of the series, it will be a 5-star series for me. I just know. So yeah, second book, loved even more. Less dark, like I said. And we see more of our MMC Commander Rip that's introduced, Slade. He's really plays a part in this. Please. This this man, and Oren, this woman. As I've said, I love her. But I love the setting in the second book where you kind of change settings a little bit, places, environments. And I loved it. And I loved seeing Oren's growth. And oh my God, the plot twist in that book. I thought I knew what was coming. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, obviously this is what the twist is. No. I was wrong. I was very wrong. And I loved that. But yeah, I don't want to, spoil too much because this is the second book in the series, but loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of Slade. Okay. Anyways, and now for my sixth book of the month, technically. I'm in the middle of it. I'm 65% through on my Kindle. The third one, Gleam. Guys, stop, I'm getting excited. I got to a scene last night reading on my Kindle, and it was one of those where you have to sit up, you had to sit up. It was that. If you've read Gleam, it's the moment. Anyways, as you can tell, this is like a 5-star. Yeah, this is a 5-star. And I'm not even finished with it yet, but I know. And I'm scared. I'm scared for how this will end, this third book, because I feel like it's really going to change the tide for the next 3 books. I just know. And I'm scared. I'm terrified. But I'm excited. But I'm scared. I'm really scared. So I'll definitely, I guess, in my April video, talk about this more when I actually finished it. Or maybe I'll just do a whole video on the series when I finish the series, but I know it's not really a fair rating since I'm not yet done with it, but come on. I just know. I did not think I was going to love this series as much as I am. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be like an okay series for me. I was wrong. I am obsessed with this series, and I'm telling you, when I'm finished, it will be one of my all-time favorites and a God tier series for me. I cannot wait. I already have the 4th book. Let me tell you another thing I love about this series. It's like an enemies to lovers romance. And I'm obsessed with the enemies to lovers, because sometimes books will say enemies to lovers and it's not really, or like the enemies part switches real fast to lovers, like within a chapter, and you're like, okay, where did that come from? This, perfect. Does it perfectly. Like, very, not so much slow burn, but more slow burn than others, and more like, I can't even talk about it. There was a moment that I remember in the second book when she meets Commander Rip and he takes his shirt off in this fighting scene or whatever. And you know how in most books they're enemies and the female will be like, oh my God, he's freaking beautiful. How have I not realized this? But she recognized his beauty, not in I want to get with him now sense. It was that's the thing about her writing. The way she wrote it, it was okay, you can tell she's not flipping a switch from seeing him shirtless, but she's recognizing the beauty of the person he is in a way. I can't really spoil. There's a spoiler to that makes more sense. Hopefully you understand me if you've read this series, but I'm trying not to say it without the spoiler. But yeah, very good enemies to lovers, in my opinion. So yeah, this was a great month for me. This was a great month. 5-star, 2 5-star series. I mean, I only read the first book, as I said, of The House of Devils, and the first 3 of Played a Prisoner, but those are 2 that I feel like are going to be some God tier series for me, that are going to be my top favorites. Okay, that is all the books I've read so far this month. Like I said, there's a week-ish, a little less, left of March. as I'm filming this, so who knows, another book could be thrown in there, whether it's the fourth Plated Prisoners or another one, but I'll let you know in the April reading wrap up what happened. But that is what I've read, and I am very happy with this month. It was a good reading month. So yes, thanks for bearing with my rambling about these books I love. I need to do a video eventually of my all-time favorite series. And that will be a rambling video for sure. Because if you thought I was rambling about these series, my all-time favorites are a little bit different. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you guys next time.